Welcome to the 2021 Baby Gown Sew Along series. This is the smocked edition, so grab your pattern pieces. My pattern pieces are still in the developmental stages, but yours are printed out on tissue. I'm using the Oh So Cozy super fine flannel for this sweet gown. So I'm starting by giving everything a good ironing, aligning the selvage edges and that cross ripped edge, and ironing everything into place. Check out the enclosed cutting layout guide for directions on how to cut out these pieces. And because I'm using superfine flannel, which is a bit thicker than a batiste or whatever, I'm moving that center fold over a bit for the smocking. So I've lined it up to about the 5th pleat mark. Hope that makes sense. That pleat dot, the 5th dot for the pleating, if you're going to pleat by hand, right? I cut everything else out like the pattern instructs though. So I start by pleating up that front section, and I'm using my smocking pleater, but you could definitely do this by hand instead. It is just a small section, so it'll go fairly quickly. Seriously, if you do not have a pleater, but you want to do this project, you'll be pleasantly surprised with how fast the pleating goes by hand on this little baby gown. If you are using a smocking pleater, make sure to line up that initial edge as parallel as you can to your pleater, and then just pleat away. Then I remove the thread to the nearest place to that 3/8 mark. It's not rocket science, so don't sweat it. Just get as close as you can to the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance and you'll be good to go. I tied those threads in groups of 2s or 3s, trimmed them up, and then move on to the other side. I pull those threads out again to the nearest 3/8 of an inch mark. And I am just blocking by eyeballing it, but there is a guide included in your pattern. So once the pleats are blocked, then I tie them off in groups of 3s again. And finally, I want to add some smocking to the bottom of those sleeves, but this is optional. You could do a piece of elastic or something instead. But to do the smocking, I rolled up the sleeves on my dowel and sent them through my pleater, leaving about 3/4 of an inch between that bottom raw edge of the sleeve and my first pleating thread. And when I get done with my first sleeve, I leave it on my pleater to hold those threads in place so I can roll my second sleeve on my dowel and go right back to my pleater. There's no need to change out those threads, like to rethread your needles or anything. Isn't that lovely? So make sure to pull enough length on those threads that you can flatten out your sleeves. This is going to allow you to finish the hem of the sleeves. Now before hemming, I pull my pleating threads out about 1/2 inch from the raw edge. Although many people do it more like 1.5 inches or so, there are pros and cons to both routes. See, if you only do a small amount like 1/2 inch, then it'll help to fit the baby's wrist better. But it is a little bit more tricky to smock. However, if you pull out more like 1.5 inches, then it's easier to smock, but it'll be loose on that sweet baby. So there are pros and cons to each route, no right or wrong here. Pick your poison, basically is what I'm trying to say. So to hem the bottom of the sleeve, I'm turning that raw edge up twice, about 1/4 of an inch each time, and then machine sewing in place. But you could add some lace or something if you wanted instead. Then I join the sleeve to the front of the gown with a French seam. Make sure to join the front of the sleeve to the front of the dress. This sleeve is very much not symmetrical, so if it's not fitting together, you probably have it flipped the wrong direction. The first pass of the French seam, I use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then I trim that down to about 1/8 of an inch, and then do an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance for the second pass. And I like to sew the second pass with the pleat side facing up, so I can sew just on the outside of the last pleat, which gives a nice, neat, clean transition in that seam from the front of the garment to the sleeve. So I take the back of the gown, cut a slit down the center back for that placket, and this is marked on your pattern piece. And next I attach the back of the gown to the sleeves via a French seam. Same process as the front of the gown, but this is a little bit easier since we don't have any pleats to worry about. Alright, now we can do that back placket. So I cut a 2-inch wide strip. Yes, a rotary cutter would be preferred, but that was currently at my sewing office and I still do all my sewing at home. So anywho, there is no pattern piece for this back placket strip. I like to cut one strip that is longer than I need. It just makes life easier. So you don't have to worry about the exact angle you attach the placket strip to the gown. You with me? And I do have a detailed video that goes over plackets using this continuous placket method, but basically, you put your placket right sides together with your gown and stitch along. I start with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then I angle the gown off as I approach the bottom of the slit. And I adjust the fabric as needed and continue to stitch up the other side of that placket. Then I clip the bottom of the placket to release the tension and trim up that angled area. I also trim the placket strip so it's about 1 inch wide from the stitches to the edge of the placket strip. And from there, I fold the placket strip over about 1/2 inch and then about another 1/2 inch and iron that into place. So you could machine stitch the strip like stitching the ditch, but I'm going to opt out for hand stitching this instead once my entire gown is together. And I'm going to put a handful of machine stitches at the bottom of the placket at an angle, and the exact angle does not matter, 30 degrees, 45, 60, just pick something in that range and it'll give a placket a direction to fall. Alright, so now we can move on to gathering that neckline. So I put 2 rows of gather stitches. I'm using a stitch length of about 3.0 on either side of that seam allowance. Of course, do this on both sides of the neckline. So, you'll do it on one side, skip over the pleating smocking portion of the front of the gown, and then go to the other side of the neckline. And from there, and this is so fun, you can pull up those gathering threads and see your neckline just take shape. How cool is that, right? Again, I'm just eyeballing this, but there is a guide in your pattern that you can use to pin your neckline and block it that way. I cut a bias strip that is 2 inches wide and plenty long. I fold the raw edges over so that they are together with the right sides of the fabric on the outside of the band, so the wrong sides of the fabric are touching, and I iron that into place. And I make sure to have about 1 inch of overhang on either side of the back placket. Also, I would highly recommend to iron a strip of freezer paper across those pleats. Mine was at my office, so I'm just pinning and hoping for the best, but I much prefer having a strip of freezer paper here. It is my favorite way to secure those pleats down while you're stitching on across them. Super easy, super fast, it's the best method. So then I stitch around that neckline, going slowly, adjusting as necessary. It's not hard, but it is the main focal point of the gown, so just go slow and you'll be fine. Then I trim up that seam so when the band folds over, the folded edge just touches those machine stitches. I'll use the machine stitches to hand sew the band down, and those little overhangs will get turned in and then folded down. And the hand stitches will kind of cinch everything down into a nice neat little package, and you will see what I mean as the video continues. So we are almost done constructing this dress now. We've just got to join the side seams, and I do this via French seams. Once I'm done with those seams, then I pull up on those pleating threads until they are fairly tight. Again, pros and cons to both routes, but this route will give you a wrist that fits a newborn. Last but not least, I'm going to create a casing for some elastic. That's such a cozy, comfortable way to finish a baby gown and makes for very easy diaper changes. So I iron that bottom edge about 1/2 inch, and then I put some gather stitches in, 2 rows at the bottom of the hem. I'm doing this so I can ever so slightly gather the bottom of the hem to fit the dress. It is an A-line shape, gown, so this is one way to get that larger distance to fit into a smaller distance. The gathers do not need to be drastic here. Small gathers all the way around will add up to enough distance to, bridge the gap, if you will. Then I fold that over, pinning it in place so I know that it fits, and adjusting the gathers as necessary. And I give that an ironing before going to my machine to sew it in place. Make sure to leave 1 inch or so gap in this casing so there's a space to insert that piece of elastic. And I use a safety pin to insert the elastic, being careful to keep an eye on the end of the elastic. And when the end gets close to the opening, I pin it in place and I continue to pull the elastic through the casing. Then I join both sides of the elastic together, and then I close the gap in the hem. Now on to the smocking part. It is so fun. Okay, well first I did the handwork. So to do the neckline band, I turned that edge in and then I folded it over. And I take my thread and I put it between the plackets so my tail of the thread is hidden. And then I tie on to one of those machine stitches. I go around the machine stitch once and then twice to create a loop. And then I go through that loop twice to secure my thread. Now from there I go to a machine stitch and then to the folded edge of the band. And as you get started, it'll look a little messy at first, but once you've made a few stitches and pull them tight, everything will go right into place. It's just a nice, neat little package, like I was saying earlier. So then I use this fine wool fiber to do the smocking. It is such a fun change from the typical floss. Seriously, branch out. It is so much fun. There's so many options to smock with. And I debated whether to use one strand or two strands for the longest time. It was like making a life decision. And I decided to go with two strands, but then I looked at it and I thought it was just too much for a newborn, so I took that out and I redid the smocking with one strand, which is not only way easier to smock, just to keep everything, nice and neat and not have to worry about threads twisting on top of each other, but I much prefer the delicate look for a newborn. So I think two strands would be lovely for an older baby, but this one strand is just, for me, it's just where it should be for a newborn, but it's sewing, so you do. And there you go with this sweet baby gown out of superfine flannel using wool for the smocking. Check out this lovely voile gown embellished with floche shadow smocked embroidery as we continue this Baby Sew Along series.